guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my 39-week pregnancy update, and this will most likely be my last pregnancy update for this pregnancy, and I'll explain why in a minute. But first I'll start with my symptoms that I've had this past week. There aren't a lot of new symptoms. Still super tired all the time, still have heartburn all the time, still can't eat very much, or I get really uncomfortable. My appetite has, I think, gone down even more than last week. I think the only real new symptoms this week have been more emotional than physical. I am a lot more irritable than I was before. The whole pregnancy, like, I really haven't had any mood swings at all. No like crying fits or anything, or a lot of people just talk about their emotions being a roller coaster throughout pregnancy, and I really didn't have that until this last week. And I wouldn't say it's been like a roller coaster, but I've had a couple of times where I kind of cried for no reason, and I just feel like I'm more irritable lately, kind of just more like a PMS type feeling, I guess. I haven't really been having any like signs of labor coming, I don't think. There've been a couple of times when I got really nauseous kind of out of nowhere. Some people say that can be a sign, but I don't know. He hasn't dropped yet. Usually I write notes for what I want to talk about, and I didn't today. I'm just winging it, so I'm afraid I'm gonna forget something. But okay, I'll talk about my appointment that I had this past week. I mentioned in my last update that I'd be finding out like if I was gonna be induced or not based on how far along I was progressing or whatever. So she checked me at our last appointment. I still am not more dilated than I was before, so I'm still less than a centimeter. And she said that I am more effaced though. She said 70%, and it was 50%, but he's still like really high. And so he hasn't dropped down, like I said. She recommended that we go in for induction on Wednesday night, which would mean most likely having the baby Thursday, like Thursday night probably, which is only 2 days before the due date. So it's not like super early or anything. But I wanted to explain why we're being induced, because I know this is the kind of thing that people get really judgmental about. I don't really understand why, although I guess I kind of do. I guess if I'm being honest, I used to have like more opinions about this stuff than I do now, because you watch like documentaries and you think that like it's horrible to have like interventions and things like that, and that things should just happen naturally. So I kind of get it, but there are medical reasons sometimes for these things. And basically with IVF pregnancies, they don't know why, and they don't have like enough research to single out for different things, but the research has shown that you are 4 times more likely to have a stillbirth if you go past your due date. Yeah, maybe that's because some people who do IVF are older. Maybe whatever it is that caused them to have to do IVF in the first place is the reason. They don't know, but like, why take the risk? That's how I feel. Stillbirth situations like just seem like the biggest nightmare I can possibly imagine. So to me, it's just not worth the risk just to have like a more natural birth experience. I also have a really great midwife who I've mentioned many times, and I just trust her 100%, and which is such a nice feeling, because I've definitely had doctors in the past that I couldn't say that for. And so I felt like it was up to me to kind of like make sure the right decisions were being made and everything. But because I trust her so much, I just kind of go by what she recommends. And she's really big on research, and like, this is what the research shows, and I do not want to risk it. So anyway, I just wanted to say that because I know some people get really judgy about this stuff, and I didn't want to argue with people in the comments about like, why are you being induced? You've had a healthy pregnancy. And like, I am super blessed to have had a healthy pregnancy. But again, they don't know the reason why IVF pregnancies are correlated with that. There are certain things about IVF, like IVF is also associated with a higher risk of preeclampsia, and it's because the embryo is formed outside of the womb, and so they think like the placenta doesn't develop properly, and so there could be a reason like that causes it. Like, there could be a million reasons. And so anyway, we're not gonna risk it, we're gonna get induced. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna go in on Wednesday night, and they're gonna put, I can't think of what it's called. There's a big long word for this like hormone that is supposed to soften your cervix. So they put, I think it's kind of like a suppository up there, and they're gonna do that, and they're gonna do that again like in the middle of the night. And hopefully, the hope is that that will bring on contractions, and or at the very least that it will ripen your cervix. So they have like different things that they go by to determine if your cervix is ripe. I don't really know what all they are, but it's like softening and effacing and dilating and whatever. The following morning, if everything is going well and I'm ripe, then they're gonna give me Pitocin and break my water and further along the induction. But if nothing's happening, and this is why, again, like my midwife is so great, like she's not gonna force it if nothing's happening at all, because that does like, it's just not really good to like force your body to do something if nothing's happening. So if the suppository thingies aren't doing anything at all, then they'll just send me home. But I really, really hope that that doesn't happen. First of all, that would mean going past my due date a little bit, probably not much. But secondly, my midwife that I love is going on vacation, and so it would have to be with another doctor. I would much prefer, and I'm just hoping and praying that like everything goes smoothly on Wednesday night and that we have this baby on Thursday. In the meantime, I've been trying to kind of like equally rest and walk. So what she told me and what I read online too is some people think like, oh, just walk, 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 go crazy with walking, and it's actually not a good thing to like exhaust yourself either if you're trying to go into labor. So I've been trying to kind of like, you know, I rest and then I'll go for a little walk and then rest and then clean around the house or whatever, you know. At the time of filming this, this is our kind of last weekend, probably before the baby gets here, which is so crazy. And I don't know, I really don't feel like I've had the nesting instinct much, maybe a little bit. And I talked about that in previous updates. Like I've been more motivated, I guess, to clean and stuff, but I just feel like it's because like last weekend we had family coming over, so that motivated me. And then this weekend it's like the last weekend before he gets here, so I'm trying to clean everything up because of that. I don't know, like my mom and my mother-in-law both talk about this whole like getting up, they're staying up in the middle of the night scrubbing floors, and they just had all this energy and stuff. I don't feel like that, so I don't know. I haven't had any swelling still, which is great. That's something they always ask me about. Like I'm still wearing my wedding ring, so far so good on that. Hopefully I don't get swelling just in the next week. I also, knock on wood, don't have any stretch marks yet. So if those things can just hold on and not get them here in the last few days, that would be great. I'm pretty sure I've gained 37 pounds. So it's kind of, you know how weight kind of like fluctuates. Sometimes it's more like 35, sometimes it's more like 38. I've never gone over like 38. My goal was I wanted to gain like between 25 and 35, but I am on the taller side. So yeah, the one doctor that I saw said, I have a feeling you'll gain more like 35 to 40 and that would be fine. So I think like overall, I'm happy with that. Hopefully it isn't too hard to get the weight off after. Also, I've been at that weight for the last like 2 weeks now. It's just because I don't have any room in my stomach and my appetite is so small that it's not like it was before where I was gaining weight rapidly and he was gaining weight rapidly and so I was hungry all the time. So I think that for the next like now until the induction, I might try to vlog just to kind of document these last few days before he gets here. And some of you have asked if I'm going to be vlogging the birth, and I think that we'll film some of it. I definitely want to have some of it. I know that we're not going to film anything like gruesome though. I don't know that I necessarily even want to have the footage of me like pushing and stuff like that. I would just feel kind of weird about that, but we'll see what happens. So I guess I will show you the last bump date. Can you believe that it's already like the very last one? It's crazy. So this is it. This is the bump at 39 weeks. You can tell he's definitely still high. He has not dropped. And none of my clothes fit anymore. That's why I'm wearing the most boring outfit ever, just this t-shirt and leggings. But I'm not about to buy new clothes when I'm at the very end. But yeah, anyway, this is the
the last bump date.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want more of, I guess, live updates or just quicker updates, be sure you're following me on Instagram, because obviously I can post on there a lot quicker and easier. That's kind of the place to follow me if you want to know like what's happening first. So yeah, I'm at Holly Casto blog over on Instagram. Thanks so much for following along this pregnancy. I feel like it's gone so fast really overall. I'll be back with more videos this week. Keep the prayers coming. You know, like labor is kind of a nerve-wracking thing, especially when you've never done it before. And so yeah, having a little bit of anxiety about it, but overall, I'm just so excited for him to get here, just be a family of 3 or a family of 4 if you include Chester. Thanks again for watching. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video if you liked it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.